Oops, sorry.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our CTC Live. Today we are talking about financial aid as well as veteran services. And this is a great opportunity, not just for current CTC students. You could actually be a student that is either somebody who's considering becoming a student, or maybe you're a parent or a spouse of somebody that wants to go to college and you have questions. This is a great opportunity for you to join us and answer. We're here to answer questions as well as give you information about financial aid as well as veteran services here on our campus. And we have our two esteemed coworkers, yay! That oversee all the money stuff over there and yonder in the other building. We have Stacy Pritt and Jen Stenbridge. Welcome, guys.
Hello,
Hey.
hello.
Hi. So, who's going to start us off on this money journey and tell us how students can actually, take advantage of these financial opportunities?
Okay, Jen says me. I'm in the spotlight. Okay. So, those of you who are new to CTC and are just now getting your financial aid, so a few things that you need to know. We release funds 10 days prior to classes start date over to the business office. Once that happens, the business office takes whatever it needs for your tuition, etc. Whatever's left over, you can utilize that over at the bookstore. Anything that's left over after that, 30 days after classes start date, is when the business office starts processing the refunds. Couple of side notes, we are still taking application for work studies. And Mariceli is familiar with this program. Did you get your 2 work studies yet?
I have a few in mind. I haven't finished getting them yet, but they're here. They're coming. They're coming.
Okay. Oh, look, James has joined us. So our work study program is 19 and a half hours. It works around your school schedule. So if you need time off for your midterms, your finals, those kind of things, we work around that schedule as well. You get paid directly to your bank account. This is not money that goes directly into CTC's business office account. This goes directly into your pocket. I'm sorry. In order for you to apply, all you have to do is go over to the eTree forms and fill out the work study application. You'll fill it out completely and submit it. If you have some unmet need, which is basically need that the Department of Education determines that you still need for you to attend college and not be broke. That's what it amounts to. So if you have any, that's how you're going to qualify for work study. When you fill out the application, make sure you put all of your qualifications in there. Anything that you did while you were in high school, if you were an office aide, if you helped out at mom and dad's business, if you had a job at the local ice cream shop, whatever the case may be, we want all that information. And then select the department you would like to work in. We have so many departments that are available: veteran services, financial aid, advising, the business office, the gym, the library. What else do we got, Jen? I know we got a bunch of others. There's so many different departments. We even have graphics design department, our printing department, welding. They have
Automotive,
welding work studies.
carpentry.
There's so many. So if you're interested, fill out the e-form and submit it to us so that we can see if you qualify to be a work study. What else? Scholarship portal will open up December 1st for the 25-26 academic year. This is important, so mark your calendars. If you are planning on attending in the 25-26 academic year, that means starting next fall, 2025, though the portal opens up December 1st. This is really important for those students that are graduating in May from high school, or some of our high school students I think are graduating in December. Some of them are in the early program where they can graduate early. They're graduating in December. This is another opportunity for you to go ahead and get the in for the scholarships for the 25-26 academic year. Um, what else is important here? What else, Marcelli? We usually talk about a bunch of different things. I'm
I
trying
think we
to
need
remember them
to
all.
make sure. I think you need to kind of talk a little bit about how it all begins for you guys with the FAFSA, doesn't it?
Yes. So if they haven't filled out their FAFSA, they'll go to studentaid.gov. And you'll create an account, you'll fill out your FAFSA. If you're under 24 and you do not meet the criteria to be considered an independent student, there's a few exceptions to those rules. So you're married, you're active duty military, you're an emancipated minor, some foster care situations, what else? Supporting a dependent, those kind of things. And those are questions that are actually on the FAFSA. So if you answer yes to any of those questions, it's automatically going to put you in an independent status. But otherwise, you're going to need your parents' information. And they have an invitation for you to send to your parents for them to fill out the FAFSA as well, and they'll need to create an account as well so that they can sign it. Once you fill out the FAFSA, it takes about 3 to 5 business days for us to pull it in once FAFSA says that they have processed it. Just because the FAFSA website, studentaid.gov, emails you and says they've processed it, that does not mean that we have processed it. Once you receive an email from CTC or whatever college you're attending that states that they've received your financial aid, that's when the processing starts for them. Any other questions? Do we have any questions?
Not right now. Um, let's see. What are ho so I know a lot of people are sometimes get confused with, "Oh, I got the information from FAFSA says I qualify.
Mhm.
Where's my money?"
Typically, what happens is the FAFSA will process you, and then we have to look at everything. So, until the financial aid department at whatever college you're attending says that you have financial aid, you do not. We're the ones who have to go through everything that you input into the FAFSA and determine whether or not you are actually eligible. This includes your parents' information, your information. Like there's a long laundry list of things that we go over.
And can you explain, because a lot of times they just think, a lot of the students I've dealt with, they just think, oh, it's like a given, it's easy, but doesn't the Department of Education kind of give you guys um this responsibility to verify that a lot of this
Yes.
information is correct, and this is where some of those hiccups come in?
Yes, that is where some of the hiccups come in. So, especially if someone is selected for verification, so that means the Department of Education has a tendency, they'll randomly select people. And basically, what this is so that we can verify the information that's been put on the FAFSA. As long as there's no issues, you should be awarded. However, again, this is one of those, you have to have the accurate information in there. And if once we start processing you, we realize that the information in there isn't accurate, we're going to ask for more documentation so we can verify that information.
How about like the individuals maybe had changes in their circumstances. So 2 years ago, they were like, "Yay, we're doing really good," and then we've had a few things in the economy, and it's been a little rough. Maybe somebody lost a job, or now make less money, or more money, or whatever. How should they go about making sure that the information that you're using is actually what's up to date, because the circumstances may have changed?
Yes. So if that's happened, if 2 years ago, which is what we go off of for the FAFSA, we go off your taxes from 2 years ago. 2 years ago, you were making 25% more than what you're making now or more. Um, and now you're making much, much less. This happens a lot with our retirees, people who are exiting the military, or people who have lost their jobs, laid off, etc. Or they were married and now they're not married, so they only have one income now versus two incomes. A lot of different reasons why this happens. So we have what's called, once we finish processing you, you can only submit this after we have processed you. You can request what's called a special circumstance form. And that is so that you can utilize the information from today for us to process you and see if you qualify with the new information. So it's things like your pay stubs, if you're not working, when you were last working, and sometimes there's the document itself has a long list of things that we require, as well as you have to fill it out completely and tell us what has changed between 2022, for example, and today.
Yeah. So I know that that's another thing. And where can students find out if they were approved for financial aid through you guys? Because that's another thing. Trying to figure out, and even if they know that they were approved, they're like, I don't know how to
Mhm.
read this.
So the quickest way for you to look at your award would be to go under your Eagle Self-Service. And the Eagle Self-Service is your primary information source for anything. So your courses, your account balance, um, whether or not you're registered for a class or not, dropping a class, pretty much anything that you need to do you can do through your Eagle Self-Service. One of the primary things is you can go under your financial aid section and you can look at your award. If there's any documentation that we need or anything that's missing from your checklist, this is where that information is going to be. Right now, we have a lot of students that haven't filled out or selected their housing intent. So in the 2024-2025 FAFSA, Department of Education got rid of the housing intent question on the application. So because of that, in order for us to create a budget for our students, we have to have that information. The options are on campus, off campus, or with parents. And if you go under your checklist, under your financial aid section, it's the checklist, not the required documents. There's a drop down menu. You select which one fits you, you hit submit. That's all it takes. And that's through the Eagle Self Service and under your financial aid section.
Great. Okay. Please remember, for those of you that are actually watching live, you're welcome to type in any questions for our presenters. That's what they're here for. They're just trying to figure out how to help y'all and answer any questions. We're giving you information, but also try to help you figure out anything that you may have. Um, I currently don't see any questions, which is okay. We can always come back to them if they
Yep.
do happen. Um, so anything else we need to know before we keep moving on to Jen?
Loans. So, for our students that got loans this academic year, if you are a first-time loan borrower, those will be dispersed to the business office 30 days after class's start date. For those of you that are new to loans, you must be in 6 credit hours at the same time for those loans to disperse. So if you have one class that starts in August, and then you have another class that starts in October, until that October class hits, we will not disperse those funds. So it has to be those 6 credits at the same time. Another thing you might be interested in is we have the Texas state grants. A couple of things you need to know about those. There is an e-form for you to fill out called the Texas State Grant. It's the Texas State Grant eligibility form. That's what it is. I was trying to think of the word, I couldn't get it. And uh, you have to be a Texas resident. You must be having a 2.0 or above, and you have to complete 67% of the classes that you attend. Those are the 3 have tos. There are also some questions that are on the application, but if you meet those 3, and you want to see if you qualify for a state grant, that's the form that you need to submit.
Great. For any individuals that maybe are thinking about, uh, maybe I want to come back and take some more classes. Do those grants qualify them if they already have like prior education?
They have prior education, but they're under a certain credit hour. Yes. So um, I can't remember how many credit hours it is for the CTC set aside and the Texas Education grant. Our coordinator does those, but we have a max amount of credit hours that you can have for each of those. So as long as you haven't exceeded those amounts, yes, you would still qualify.
Okay. All right. Um, Trying to think. Anything else? I had something in my mind and it kind of slipped away, but I'm sure I'll come back to it because I'll think about it.
Yeah, we've had
Um,
actually a lot of students that were here back in '07, '06 that are now coming back to us and wanting to finish out that education. And we want them. We want them to come back to us. We want them to finish those degrees, and we want to help them do it.
yeah, yeah. And that's one of the things that, sometimes you just, if you're missing like a class or two, come on, talk to us.
Mhm.
Like, well, let us
Yeah.
try to figure out how we can help you because it's very frustrating when you have individuals like, yeah, I was missing just one class and I didn't go back for it. It's like, no, you were so close.
You were
Let's
this
get you.
close. Come on. We can do this. We can
Yes,
help make you happen.
we'll get you a personal cheerleader
There you go.
to make it happen. All right. So I know I'll think of something in a minute, but
Sure.
I will. You know I will.
Of
Uh,
course.
but let's introduce Jen. And Jen, can you talk to us a little bit about veteran services here on campus?
Absolutely. Um, so, a couple of things. There are numerous chapters that may qualify for as far as veteran benefits go. So we'll go over those all a little bit. Um, but I kind of want to start with telling you guys what our process is. So when it comes to veteran benefits, the most important thing up front is that you've applied to utilize those benefits. Um, just because your sponsor has told you that they assigned benefits to you doesn't mean that you automatically just get to use those benefits. You still have to apply to use them. And that can be done at va.gov under their education benefits. Once you've applied to do that, it can take up to 30 days for them to get you a certificate of eligibility or to process it. Um, Generally, it's a little bit shorter than that, but it can take up to 30 days. Um, so after you do that, the next step is to register for your classes. And after that, you're going to do what's called a VEC. That's a Veterans Enrollment Certificate. That's what tells us to tell the VA what benefits you're going to be utilizing. So that is very important to fill that out every time you register for new classes. It's also very important to let us know if you drop or withdraw from classes so that we can uncertify you from those classes with the VA. So let's take a couple of minutes. We're going to go through some of the chapters. Um, First, we have Chapter 35. That's the Survivors and Dependents Education Assistance. Um, Chapter 35 is going to give you a monthly housing allowance, and that amount of that is going to be based on if you are, how many hours you're taking, as well as if you're taking those in person or online. You also get a um, a small book stipend, but that comes with your first um, housing allowance. And that monthly allowance that they send you, that can take up to 30 days past the first day of your classes. So that's not, once you register and everything, that doesn't just automatically come to you on the first of the following month. So for instance, we just started our fall term on the 19th. So students that started then probably aren't going to see that until that first week of October, but it will be back paid as well. Some circumstances, they may get it to you sooner, but they generally pay out that the first week of the month. So Chapter 30 is the Montgomery GI Bill for active duty. With that, your benefit is based on how long you were in the service, um, the type of education or training that you choose, and again, this one does not pay directly for your classes. You get a monthly housing stipend from them as well. And they just changed it, so I'm not sure what it is for full-time, if you meet the full requirements, what the full amount is. I believe it's just over 1,000. So there's that one. And then chapter 33 is the post 9/11. So that one would pay for tuition and fees, as well as money for housing and money for books, but that's going to come to you as a stipend. That's not paid out directly to the school. So you'll need to make sure that your books are taken care of on your own. That's going to be your responsibility. Generally, I would talk about chapter 31, but here in a minute, I will have Mr. Morgan talk about that. Monthly housing allowance, that is, it equals the housing allowance for the local E5. So it's going to be based on, again, how many hours you're in classes, if you're going strictly online, if you're going online and in person. But you can also get a books and supplies stipend, and the amount is based on $41.67 per credit hour with a maximum of up to 24 credits. So your book stipend is going to be, again, based on how many hours you're enrolled in class. Then something that I don't generally touch on really is Hazelwood, but I'm going to touch on that a little bit today. So in order to qualify for Hazelwood, the veteran, so dependents can use the benefit as well, but there's a few different ways that works. So the veteran has to have entered Texas, entered the military in the state of Texas, declared Texas as the home of record at the time of entry, or was a Texas resident prior to entering the service. They had to have at least served 181 days and have received an honorable or general under honorable conditions discharge. They have no federal veterans education benefits dedicated to the payment of tuition and fees. So that means if you have chapter 33 or chapter 31, you wouldn't qualify because those ones pay for the tuition. But chapter 30, chapter 35, and some of the other benefits would qualify for, you can qualify for Hazelwood. Also, the veteran cannot be in default on any student loans made or guaranteed by the state of Texas. So aside from the veteran qualifying, there's 3 different tiers to qualifying for Hazelwood. There's legacy, and that's a transfer of Hazelwood benefits to a child. So if the veteran didn't use their benefits, they can transfer those to a child. There's the dependent of a totally and permanently disabled or individually unemployable veteran. And then dependent of a service member with a service-related deceased, missing in action, or killed in action. So for the legacy, for all of the other ones, the veteran has to have qualified for the veteran portion that we just talked about of qualifications. For legacy, they must be biological child, stepchild, adopted child, or claimed as a dependent, and they must be 25 years or younger on the first day of class. For the dependent of totally and permanently disabled, the veteran must be 100% disabled or unemployable by PA. They must be the biological child, stepchild, adopted child, or claimed as a dependent. And then finally, the dependent of a service-related deceased, MIA or KIA. The veteran must be deceased, missing in action, or killed in action. And we've got report of casualty is what we would need to properly file that. For somebody with a disability, we would need their VA rating decision letter. But you can find all that information on how Hazelwood works and how to apply for it on the CTC website. So you can take a look there on all of that.
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So actually there's multiple ones and I think this is great. James, I hope you have your camera ready because I think this is going to help. This is going to be more free. It's going to eventually go your way. But I have somebody who's saying I have 35 in Hazelwood. I'm unemployable as well. How does that work for my wife? And how do I set her up with a counselor?
So James doesn't have a camera, but
But can he talk?
are you able to unmute yourself, James?
Okay. Well, if not, Jen, can you kind of field while James hopefully helps answer or can figure something out? If not, then can you help?
He's working on the microphone part. So as far as the counselor goes, so sorry, I have 35 in Hazelwood. I'm unemployable as well. How does that work for my wife? How do I set her up with the counselor? So Jody, has the VA deemed you as the unemployable? So that's going to be the first question.
And if the answer is yes, I have a feeling it's going to be yes because
yeah,
if
so
she put that like that,
that's definitely going to be moving on to James. So James is our vet success on campus. So what he does is he works with the veterans that are unemployable, have those disability ratings, and all of that. Oh, hold on 1 second. I think James is here. Hold on.
So I think we're gonna get your answers in it. Yes, okay, perfect.
So hold on. We're gonna unplug from here. So okay, so I'm gonna have James come take over here.
There he is. Welcome, James.
Hello.
Yay!
Good morning, everyone.
So our question is right now, we've got a veteran who is VA rated unemployable, 100% benefit. They're asking how to.
Okay, so if you're the veteran and you're trying to get benefits for your dependent,
Spouse.
for the
Yes.
spouse.
Yes.
Okay. All right. A couple different things that they can do. First off, you can go on to www.va.gov and you want to go on education and training, and that's where you're going to go and apply for the Chapter 35 VA benefit. Right. So that's the first
She
step.
said she already had 35 in Hazelwood.
Okay, great. So she has 35 in Hazelwood. Then the only thing she needs to do, first off, is just come to campus. So you want to come up to building 215, room 222, and sign in. And from there, we can get you over to the Hazelwood rep. And if you have any questions about the benefits, myself or Lance can speak with you, and then you can also speak with one of the veteran service representatives here as well.
So can you kind of, I don't think we fully introduced you, James, and I think you're
Yeah.
such a great asset that we really need to make sure that everybody understands who you are, why you're here, and why it's so important and why we love having you on campus.
All right. Well, my name is James Morgan. I'm with the Department of Veteran Affairs, and I'm one of the Vet Success on Campus counselors here at Central Texas College. It's myself and Mr. Lance Davis. All right, so we are here. We cover all of the education benefits to include the Chapter 31, which is the VRD program. Right, so we also provide personalized career planning and guidance counseling. So that's in addition to what you can receive from CTC. So if you're a veteran, if you're a service member, and if you are a dependent and qualify for any of the education benefits, we are here to assist you. All right, so we're co-located with the Veteran Services Department here at CTC. We're building 215, rooms 202 and 203. So we'll be glad to assist you. Our normal hours are from 7:30 a.m. Monday through Fridays until 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 11:30 on Fridays. After that, we're available via email. All right, so a
So
little bit
we're
about
really blessed, guys. I just want to reiterate, we are very blessed to have this group with us, because if you have a question that has to be on the VA side, and we're talking to somebody from CTC about it, you just need to walk down the hall and they're right there to answer the question, help you figure out what the situation is, because there's certain things that CTC can't help you with. And we need somebody from the VA to step in and really figure out how to do that. That's where James Morgan here and his coworker really come in, because they work for the Department of Veteran Affairs, the federal government, and they're right here in our campus to be able to help support our students. This is amazing, because it's a one-stop shop. You can just get your answers from the VA with James, and then you go over there, and Jen can help you figure out on the CTC side of things how to do it. It is all in one. So this is why I'm really, really glad that he's here today.
yes, most definitely. And for more personalized questions, our contact information is available. If you have that, please provide it to them. Give us a call, send us an email. We can assist you over the phone. We can assist you by email. And this is for anyone. You don't have to just be a student of CTC. We assist veterans and service members and dependents worldwide. All right. So what we do is only on about 100 campuses nationwide. So we're here for the community.
This is why this is so special that we have him here, because not everybody gets this chance. A lot of people, they go to their college campus and then they have to go to the VA, do another line, figure it out. Right here, it's all together, guys. So Jody, definitely contact Mr. James Morgan. We'll put this information in Facebook in a little bit for you. Come on down, talk to him, figure out what you need to do from the VA side, and then you come and talk to Jen about it on the CTC side so that we can get you squared away.
Most definitely.
Awesome. All
I
right.
heard her mention something about the Chapter 31 program, and I'll just go into that just real quickly. All right, so we cover the Chapter 31, which is veteran readiness and employment. So that program, as long as you're 10% service connected or greater, you can apply for the VRNE program. You do that, www.va.gov, log into your account, and you want to go up on education and training and find the Chapter 31. Fill that application out. In about 30 to 45 days, they're going to reach out to you. They'll set you up with an appointment. And then from there, they make a determination on whether or not they can bring you to the program. Once you're in that program, it's similar to the other programs, but it pays for everything. It pays for all your tuition, all your books, all your fees. It will provide you a monthly stipend while you're in the program, as well as if you have certain supplies that may be needed for items within the classes that you're taking, it can actually pay for that as well. All right. You'll also have counseling by that case manager that you're going to have, so they'll make sure that you stay on track, as well as your academic advisor that you're going to have at the school that you have also. So that's an addition. So make sure if that's something that you want to actually apply for that one. If you got any questions about that benefit, come talk to us again, and we'll be glad to assist you.
Great. All right. I went ahead and put it on Facebook. How to get a hold of phone number and email. I put the va.gov one because I heard that that's the better one for you. Is that correct?
Your email.
Yes, exactly. The va.gov. James.morgan3@va.gov.
Okay, good. So Jody, make sure you screenshot it, or you know, take a pic or write it down, whatever works for you, so that you can then make an appointment, contact Mr. Morgan, and hopefully get your answers squared away so that your wife can also take advantage of the benefits. Thank you. Yay! I love it when we have questions. It makes it so much fun for us. It does. It does.
One thing I
All right.
want to add as well, I know I'm going back, but there's the Chapter 35 benefit. Now, that benefit is similar to the Chapter 30 benefit. So that benefit does not pay any money to the school. It pays the money directly to the individual that's using the benefit. So if you're using the Chapter 35, which is the DEA benefit, it will pay you directly. All right. So you can find all the details about that online also. But once you apply and get that certificate of eligibility, you're going to turn that into the school that you're going to be attending. They will forward that back to the VA with the classes and everything that you're enrolled in. So the pay that's associated with that is based on your enrollment. So if you're enrolled full time, you'll be paid the full time rate. If you're enrolled at the halftime rate, halftime. Three quarters time. If you're less than that, then it only pays out up to a certain amount. So up to the amount of the tuition that you paid for those classes. All right. So they have a couple of different cutoffs. And it does not make a difference on whether or not the classes are in class or online. You're paid by that actual rate. That benefit can be combined with the Hazelwood if you have that. Okay. So if you have those two, you can combine that at the school with that maximum. The post 9/11 GI Bill, of course, we know that benefit pays tuition directly to the school. It gives you a book stipend, and it also gives you a BH amount. And that is as long as you're attending above the halftime rate. If you're at halftime actual or below, it's possible you won't get paid any BH, but the tuition is paid to the school. You'll get the book stipend. You want to make sure you're attending above halftime, and it makes a difference if you're going to be a on-campus student or strictly online. Right? So if you're taking strictly online, you'll only get the online rate, which is only $1,055 per month. And that's anywhere in the nation. If you're going to be going face to face, as long as you're taking one class physically on campus, then you can be paid the face to face rate, which can vary based on where you're located.
Awesome. All right. So this is, again, you guys can see how this is a great resource. Take advantage of it. This man knows his stuff. He has been here since we've ever had any kind of VA presence on campus. He's the OG. I don't. He's a real thing. He's a real thing, guys. And I also wanted to mention, even though your main focus is education, sometimes we have students that maybe need something else from the VA. Can you help them also with that kind of stuff?
Yes. So if you come here, you have any questions, we do counseling, all right? Personalized career planning and guidance counseling. We cover a majority of things. So you come in with your questions and we'll take a look at them and answer it, figure out where you want to be, what you're trying to get done. And if it's something that we can't assist you with directly, we do referrals out to the community. We do referrals out to the VA, so on and so forth. And we try to do warm referrals. So whatever questions that you have, we're here to assist you.
Great. Let me see, try to see. This is great. This is awesome. I've never had him on a live before, so I'm super excited to have him here because he's a great resource for anybody thinking about coming to school and has either benefits or somebody that they know has benefits. He cares. He's one of the ones that cares, guys. So definitely take advantage of it. Come see him on our campus. He's here to answer your questions and hopefully get you ready so that you can have your classes and figure everything out step by step and you have less challenges along the way. He's here to actually take some of those challenges away. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. All right.
Back over to Jen.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. So I know the Jen's over there somewhere, but trying to get back into this. But Jen, can you talk a little bit, whenever you're ready, can you talk a little bit about, you have you're looking for student workers too, right?
Yes, and our process is a little bit different because ours has to go through the VA for approval for our students. So in order to apply, you'll need to come in and do your application here with us. It's a paper application. I'm sorry, it's not fancy and on eTreeve. But if you are wanting to apply, you can either come up here to building 215, second level, and apply with us. I will also bring some applications to Thursday, our Welcome Back Bash. We'll kind of talk a little bit about that before we sign off today as well. But I will bring some for anybody who might be interested. See this video, just ask me because I'm not just going to have them out on the table. We've got a lot of other stuff to put out on our table. So if you are a VA education benefit receiver and a student here, then you can do your application. fun in here. You can do your application through us. Fortunately, if you are not a VA benefit receiver, we can't get you approved to be a work study with us. So you have to be a VA education benefit holder, and you have to do the paper form. So again, those can all be done up here in 215.
So can you talk about it? Okay, so this is where we talk about how financial aid, the part with FAFSA, and the veteran services, you guys can actually work together. Can
Yes.
you guys talk about that? Because
Our best friend departments, okay? So
you're really siblings, aren't you?
We are. We're like the redheaded stepchildren together. We're like two peas in a pod. We work hand in hand.
yeah, so we are definitely working on bringing a form of awareness to the fact that just because you have a VA benefit doesn't mean you can't also utilize FAFSA. You know, you can utilize that Pell Grant, you can utilize that. A lot of times we'll see that students are thinking that the Chapter 35 is going to pay for their schooling, and while they give you that monthly stipend, that doesn't come to us. That's not going to come to you, like I said, until 30 days or so after classes start. Well, by that time, if you've not paid for your classes, then you've been dropped from the classes. So that's where financial aid comes in. If you've not applied for your FAFSA, for your financial aid already, I encourage you to do it. Do it, do it, do it.
It's not too late. Not too
It,
late. We can still approve you for this semester.
yeah, and you know, I'm not just talking about go to the FAFSA, get a loan per se. You can still qualify for Pell if you've not utilized that yet. So instead of getting dropped from your classes for non-payment, go and apply for financial aid. We have seen a great reduction in the students that are being dropped since we've kind of built this partnership over the last few months together. And we are looking forward to decreasing those numbers of students dropped as we continue to work together and bring awareness to the fact that you can use both kinds of benefits at the same time.
Yeah, we even sit together at events now so that we can kind of get them informed as they're walking through.
Yep. If I have a student come to me first, I'm like, have you done your FAFSA yet? Here, come talk to Stacy. Or Stacy will be like, oh, you're military? Okay, do your FAFSA. So here. And so we're definitely trying to make sure that we are letting everybody know that you can use both benefits. I mean, we have some students that are using Hazelwood, Chapter 35, and financial aid. It works. So just make sure that you continue to do that, and we will continue to remind students that they can do that and that we encourage them to do that.
And we like giving away free money. Like,
Yep,
I'm just saying that the grants, they're free money.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, but yeah, anytime you see us now, events, we're trying to be right next to each other, buddy, so that we can continue to decrease the number of students dropped for non-payment when they think that a benefit's paying out. So
yeah, because I've seen that in the past where students actually think, well, I already, I'm waiting for my VA to kick in. I haven't received my money yet, so I haven't been able to pay more for my class, or I haven't been able to pay for my books, or something along those lines. And there was a lot of stress leading up to the beginning of classes because they didn't have all their stuff squared away, or it was taking too long. They started the process too late, and then they're trying to catch up through it.
Yep.
So
and
definitely.
that's another thing I was going to say. If you are one of our chapters that does not cover tuition directly to the school, come talk to us, and we will, we'll go through the options with you. Have you applied for financial aid yet? Have you, we will help you figure out what you may need to do in order to get those classes covered while you're waiting on your benefits to hit your bank account. So,
Oh, and just to put it out there, next month on the 14th of September, we're having an pop-up outreach event. We'll have financial aid there, veteran services, recruitment. We're trying to get some folks from Texas A&M to come out and for the transferring, and that's going to be over at the Kate Center. For those of you that don't know, it's where they have the welding classes, graphics design, HVAC, those things, and it's going to be from 11 to 2. Let me find the building
And
number.
I want to make sure people understand this is in our central campus that she's talking about. Okay,
Yes,
central
yes,
campus in Killeen.
yes. And it's going to be building 253W, which is the Kate Center, and it's going to be room 14, which is a computer room. So there will be access to computers for us to help folks fill out their FAFSA or anything else that they need help with.
All right, and so if you have a child, a nephew, anybody that maybe is graduating soon from a local high school, a Texas high school, it doesn't even have to be a local high school, it has to be a Texas high school. Can you explain a little bit about some of the things that they have to do to be able to graduate? Stacy?
Oh, me. Okay.
Yes.
So we actually do FAFSA night events at several of the high schools because it is now a requirement before you graduate for you to fill out a FAFSA. This is so that we can make sure that everyone who can get aid does get aid. We want these students to success. We want them to progress in their life. And whether they decide to do academics or a technical degree, such as graphics design, welding, HVAC, automotive, or if they want to go into engineering, which we have an engineering associates, mathematics, English, whatever the case may be, we want to see you succeed. So those students that can get aid, that is our focus, to try and get you aid so that you can go to college and you can succeed.
Yep. So, you know, again, this is open to the community. Anybody is welcome to. It doesn't really matter where you're going. Honestly, the FAFSA is the FAFSA. The VA services are the VA services,
Yes.
regardless of where you go to school. Now, some of the little nuances, you know, maybe the form looks a little different or some things might look a little different, but the basic information is still the same. And we have a lot of students, historically that maybe even go to some of the bigger schools, even if it's like Texas A&M and College Station, UT, UTSA, all of those, you know, bigger schools. But then they always end up coming back and taking maybe a class here over the summer. Maybe they're trying to kind of catch up on a class or kind of advance because it's cheaper and it's less students and they can really focus on it here. And you think that you might be doing something like that in the future, come get the information. Even if you're going to be transferring somewhere else, ask those questions because sometimes there are things that can be done so that the classes are covered here and there, depending on what the situation is. But you have to have conversations with individuals that know what they're talking about.
And on average, CTC is the cheapest community college in this area specifically, but in general, throughout the state of Texas, we're one of the cheapest as far as tuition goes. Our average cost for our per credit hour is $125. Most colleges are $250 and above in this area. So it's something to think about.
Keep it in mind. Keep it in mind.
Especially for those lower level classes that you have to take, those core classes, the math, the English, the government, the history, all of those things are transferable to those four-year colleges. And a lot of our four-year colleges, especially Texas A&M, Central Texas, which works hand in hand with us, gives out scholarships for students that do well at CTC so that they can continue their education over at A&M. So
ooh, Stacy, we have a really good question here.
I was just gonna say that.
All right.
What's the question?
This is a really good one. I'm glad.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready. Give it to me.
If my daughter has her own job, pays taxes, and we don't claim her on her taxes, she is 20 years old. Does she need to put our income in the FAFSA form or just her income? Thank you.
Unfortunately,
this is a wonderful
yes.
question.
Unfortunately, the case is yes, because if she's under 24, she's not supporting a child of her own. She's not married. She's not active duty military. She's not an emancipated minor. She's not considered homeless. All of those things that would qualify her as an independent from you. Um, she has to claim you. You have to provide your information. And we're running into in a lot of problems where parents are refusing to give their information because their kids are on their own and living on their own, and they don't want to give their information. I beg you, parents, don't do this to your kids. They need that information for them to be able to um, go to college and get their education so that they can do what they want to do in their life and further their goals and their careers. So please don't do that to your children.
And
Well,
as
and
a
now
reminder, that's not a CTC requirement. This is per federal
Yep.
Department of Education. This is not CTC saying, "Oh, we need
Yep.
your education."
Yeah. Federal government says until they're 24, they're yours unless they have one of those circumstances.
well, and I was gonna say, and now the student aid, it makes it a little bit easier because it's gonna send you as a parent an invite to put that information in yourself. So you're
Yes,
not just handing that information over to your child.
exactly.
It allows you to do that so that
Yeah,
your
and
information
it
is
automatically
safe.
links to the IRS website, so none of that information is privy to anybody else. It goes directly to the school that they're applying for, so that they can process it.
So this is, yes, thank you. That is an excellent question because I know a lot of parents have concerns about giving out their information or they don't fully understand it. And if you're one of those parents and are like, I don't know about giving out this information, please come talk to them. Please come talk to Stacy or to somebody else because this is really going to be helpful. Um, you know, they can clarify a lot of questions, especially if
Yeah.
there's a lot of little nuances and details. Like I know enough about financial aid to be dangerous, but I don't like answering questions because there's so many different
There's a lot
little
of moving
caveats.
parts. There's a lot of moving parts in that application, and some things that you answer on those the application can make a big change. Uh, Something as simple as did you receive SNAP benefits or were you on free lunch or reduced lunch? Those little questions, believe it or not, they do matter. Because they go into the grand scheme of the logarithm that they give us to be able to give out aid. So answering truthfully is very important.
Oh, this one's for Jen. Does CTC accept the Hazelwood Act through the VA Center there?
Yes, Todd, we do. We have Carmen Lopez. She is in charge of our Hazelwood here. Um, so if you go to the CTC website and search for Hazelwood, it'll give you the information that you need on where to fill out the application and everything. But absolutely, um, and I will put the contact information for Hazelwood into the chat there on Facebook. If you give me just a second here, but you can do a walk-in. Um, I recommend coming in before noon if you want to talk to somebody, or after 1, because that's usually when she takes her lunch. But outside of those, the majority of us have a little knowledge of the Hazelwood that we can steer you in the right direction. But I will put her contact information as well as the link to the Hazelwood page that has a lot of information in there, and step-by-step instructions on how to utilize it through CTC. But yes, we are take Hazelwood. So
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad people are asking questions because it really helps us make sure that we're being productive and we're giving you the information that you actually need. Because we can give you a lot of general information, but sometimes again, everybody has their own little caveat. And anything that has to do with VA, if financial aid is hard for me, VA is even worse because it depends on each chapter. It depends on where you became, like Hazelwood, is did you enlist at CTC or not at CTC? Look at me at Tech in Texas. That one's even more of a challenge for me. So I always, even if I think I know the answer, I really try hard to ask questions of, you know, either Jen or Stacy or somebody from that area. So that way I am not giving out bad information. And a lot of times the answer is, it should be this, but send it my way because I need to check something. I need to verify information. So if that's the kind of stuff that, you know, is going on, then we definitely want to make sure that we're giving you correct information and that they're looking at your specific needs, individual needs, before we give out too many details about how things work. All right, you guys keep asking the questions because we have a little bit of extra time. Well, we're almost done, but if you have any last minute questions, please go ahead and type them in now because this has been really productive. And I hope that we can continue to have these conversations. We will have a few more lives this week. Let me see. I have, oh, where's my?
Are you having the library this week?
Tomorrow is success coaches.
Tomorrow, success coaches. For those of you that don't know, the success coaches are individuals that are here to guide you through your educational process. If you're stuck, if you don't know what to do, if you're like, I need help in anything and I don't know what to do, you should be able to go to your success coach and they'll guide you through whatever process it is that you need to go through.
This afternoon, you've got LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Figuring out how to do LinkedIn now. I'm doing this one and it's fun because I have never used LinkedIn. So I'm going to be learning a lot today. If you're interested in learning more, again, this is for students and really anybody else out there. You're welcome to come find out a little bit more information about what LinkedIn is and how it can help you find a job. And this is going to be done through our career services. And then we have in October, we have our next financial aid info session. I really think it would be great if you guys continue to watch us when we do these things. We do record them and eventually post them on YouTube. If you ever want to watch them again and you're like, oh, I can't find it, go watch it on YouTube, guys. That's where we'll put it after this is done. So that way you can access it at any time. You can share this presentation with a friend or somebody that you feel like they might need to know more about this or any of the topics that we have. Also next Thursday, tomorrow, wait, is it? No, Thursday.
Tomorrow.
Is it Wednesday already?
No, day
It's
after tomorrow.
Tuesday. Today is Tuesday.
Okay, I'm going a little, I'm losing it, guys.
You're trying to rush us, but I'm not
I am.
complaining. I'm not
Yeah.
complaining. We can make it Thursday. I'm good with that. We can do
So,
that.
on Thursday, if you're here at our campus or near our campus, you're welcome to come check out our welcome bash. We are going to have it be cowboy themed, and we're ready to scoot into your lives and make sure that we answer any questions. We're going to be having a lot of resources for our students. So we'll have the hop is going to be in the building, I believe. We're going to have almost every department from CTC is going to have some sort of representation. So that way, if you have questions about, I don't know how to get help with, somebody over there will be like, oh, you need to go talk to that person over there. This is where they're at, and we'll be able to actually have some fun. We'll have some games, clubs, organizations are going to be there as well. So please come share the wealth, find out more. We're doing this so that you can all be successful in, you know, as a student. And even if you're not currently a student, it's okay. You know, start learning now about the things that we have to offer. So that way, when you are a student, we can get you more answers. All right, let me see. I don't see any other questions. So I think we're ready to wrap up. Thank you very much to our presenters today, Stacy,
Always a
Jen,
pleasure.
and James. I always have fun with you guys. I really always do. You guys don't even know we go to meetings. It's like, hey, you're there.
Woohoo! We get to see each other in person. Yay!
Yeah, yes. So keep watching. We'll be putting this on YouTube soon. Thank you for listening today. We had a really productive time. Again, this will be in YouTube probably with if not today, then maybe by tomorrow. And thank you for all the information. We'll talk a little bit later today with the LinkedIn. Take care.